Now that we've completed all the nonfiction text structures, we are now going into context clues. And so we're now going to put on our detective hats and discover new words and how to understand them. Sometimes we come across words that we have no idea what they mean or even how to pronounce them. And there are different types of things that we can do as readers to help us decode a word so we can understand it. So let's get our detective hats on and do some serious word detecting. So here are some things that we could do that helps us come when we come across words and phrases that we don't know. So tricks to determine the meaning of words. We could start using resources like a dictionary and a glossary. A great thing as readers is just to reread. Sometimes things will come up and we can have experienced those words. We've seen those words before. Break the word down. We've done prefixes and suffixes and identify the root word. That will help us understand what the word means. Look for those context clues and try to find important words around you that you do know. That will actually help you give you clues of the word you don't know. So be a context clue detective. Is there a lot of very specific vocabulary words in text in order to help readers learn more about a topic? Sometimes readers of nonfiction come across new words with which they are unfamiliar. When this happens, they have to act as detectives to find a word's meaning. So, lots of times we use context clues. We use our own knowledge, our background knowledge, our experiences, our schema. We break down the word, the prefixes, and the root words, and we use a glossary. Sometimes we have synonyms and antonyms and cause and effects, and there's definitely a description or a definition right after the word that we don't know. Sometimes the tone and setting really helps create um, an understanding of what the word means. But when you're asking yourself as a reader, you should always say, what words, blank, the unknown word suggests its meaning? Does the blank of the passage make the meaning clear? Is the word blank an explanation? Is it explaining something? Does the author give a blank to help me understand the word? Does it give you a clue? What blank do I already know that can help me understand the word? What do I already know about the text or the words around it? So when we want to break apart those words, look at the word unreadable. Un is the prefix, and that word un, we've seen it before, means not. The suffix is able, can be done, and the root word is read. So if we put the prefix and the ending of the suffix and attach it with the root word, we are not able to read something. It's unclear to us. But if we take the word on off, we are able to read it. Has this ever happened to you? Sammy is reading. He comes to a word he doesn't understand. What should he do? You should look for context clues. And you know what? There are 5 main types of context clues. The first one is the definition or explanation clues. So lots of times after the word that we don't know, there's a definition or an explanation right after it. A cacophony of noises surrounded the group of people. A cacophony is a mixture of harsh sounds. All right, now I'm very new to that word, and I'm sure all of you are. But if you noticed, it gives us the definition right after the word. Cacophony is a mixture of harsh sounds. The second one is a synonym or restatement clues. So synonym is another word for the word that we don't know. And sometimes it might actually help us understand what the word means. Sometimes the author uses a synonym or restates the word in a simpler way. As the cacophony came through the phone line, he pulled it away from his ear to lessen some of the blaring racket. So, sounds like the blaring racket would be the synonym or the restatement for a cacophony. Sometimes they give you an antonym or a contrast clue. An antonym is the opposite of the word that we don't know, or they're doing it contrast, they're giving us something different to help us understand the word better. So sometimes the author presents the opposite meaning somewhere nearby so that two words can be contrasted. So here's an example. After spending a peaceful day at the spa, the woman was shocked by the cacophony that hit her when she opened the door to the daycare center. So the antonym or the contrast clue in this example is peaceful. That is an opposite, that's an antonym to cacophony. The next one is an inference clue. Sometimes the word is not clarified in the same sentence. The reader must look for clues and make connections to their own experiences or what they already know about the topic. We have to look before and after the word, like in previous sentences or after sentences after the word to help us understand it. Maybe we can make our own connections to it. A cacophony of war was challenging for some of the soldiers to handle. There were many nights when it was difficult for them to sleep. So I know that sometimes if there is a lot of noise, I can't sleep. I bet there's a lot of noise from guns during war. I think cacophony must be a horrible type of noise. Again, so we have to make that inferencing. And how we make that inferencing is by using our background knowledge, our schema, to help us understand the word. The fifth one is an example. Sometimes the author includes examples to explain the meaning of a word. So a cacophony of owl hoots, chirping crickets, and howling wolves surrounded us. I couldn't wait to return home to my own bed. So they're giving us the examples of these loud, harsh noises. The owl hooting and the chirping crickets and the howling wolves. These are noises that upset us. That's the cacophony. And we couldn't wait to go back to bed. So they gave us the examples of what a cacophony could be. So let's search for some word meanings using context clues.
Amy has altophobia. You'll never find her at the top of a mountain. Altophobia. What do you think the meaning of altophobia is? It means if I'm not going to find her at the top of a mountain, there's something about a mountain and getting up there. So I think it means, remember, different people have many different ways to use different clues to help them figure it out. But I think it's the fear of heights. You're never going to find Amy on the top of a mountain, so she is suffering from altophobia. Now remember, another way to understand a word is looking at the prefixes and suffixes and the root word. And a root word in this one is phobia. And a phobia is a type of fear. Like in the word arachnophobia. That's a fear of arachna. Arachna, when we did our Greek mythology, arachna is spiders. Arachnophobia, a fear of spiders. It is somewhat surprising that Christy has amaxophobia. After all, she loves butterflies. Amaxophobia. So if she loves butterflies, what would be something that's different than a butterfly? And I'm hearing it actually in the name. Now, remember, phobia is a fear. So I believe that amaxophobia is a fear of moths. Makes sense. She says she likes butterflies, but what's different than butterflies? A moth. Jamie has amaxophobia. He has a fear of riding in cars. Well, in this one, it tells us right after the word what it means. Amaxophobia is a fear of riding in cars. It tells us the definition already. So it's the fear of riding in cars. My sister will not go to the circus. She has coulrophobia. When she sees a person with white makeup and a big red nose, crazy hair, and gigantic feet, she is frightened beyond belief. Now, after the word that we do not know, it gives us an explanation, a definition of what the word is. And by using that clue, I think we can help figure it out. Someone we find in a circus and it has white makeup, big red nose, crazy hair, I do believe we are talking about a fear of clowns. She does not like clowns at all. Brandon is totally different than his brother, Alex. Alex loves anything spooky like ghosts, witches, and zombies. But Brandon has a Synonym. He would never go trick-or-treating. Samhainophobia. Let's see. Well, they're doing a comparing and a contrasting here. They're contrasting and they're showing us something that's different. They're telling you what Alex likes. And then they're saying, but Brandon doesn't. So, I guess Samhainophobia is a fear of Halloween. That's interesting. Never knew that. Melissa has Melissophobia. It started when she was a kindergartner and she was stung 10 times when she was walking home from school. So it's giving us a little bit of some explanation here. And we have to infer what kind of things sting you. And we can say, well, I know from my experience, I got stung by a bee. So I wonder if that is a fear of bees. Well, let's see. Melissophobia is a fear of bees.